Okay, so apparently the Star Wars anime is real, and not only is it real, but it actually looks pretty badass. Naturally, this sent me spiraling down a Star Wars rabbit hole that reintroduced me to some of my favorite characters in all of fiction for one reason or another. Because, let's be honest, Star Wars might be about lightsabers and space wizards, but the real force at play here is the sheer number of baddies. And since I am an expert in the field, today we'll be looking at the baddest Star Wars characters in terms of how much you have to hear me out. We're starting with the most reasonable pick, and by the end, I will single-handedly get this video banned in multiple countries. As always, the only thing I ask of you is to hear me out. Padme was introduced in The Phantom Menace in 1999 as the Queen of Naboo, and later a senator of the corrupt Galactic Empire. She's totally different from all the other rulers around her. She's determined to bring peace to the galaxy and has really good morals, but also knows when it's time to fight. Padme has to be the most normal baddie I could think for this list. Not only is she super cute, but she's always putting others before herself and defending her people. She's also wrapped up in one hell of a package. Padme is pretty much the perfect baddie with one fatal flaw. Sort of like that hot girl falling for the broke stoner guy. This is who Padme fell for. If you couldn't guess, this relationship turned out just as well as the stoner did. Okay, maybe a bit worse. Dumb choice in men, pretty much perfect besides that. Padme is a baddie. When you think of Star Wars crushes, Princess Leia is probably the first to come to mind, and while I won't disagree with you, that's only half of the equation. Enslaved Leia is undeniably the baddest in all of Star Wars. It doesn't matter how far away you go, it doesn't get better than this. The only reason she isn't first is because you'll need to hear me out a little bit for the whole bondage thing she has going on. George Lucas probably had a tough time explaining why this was necessary for the story. Then again, seeing as he forced Carrie Fisher to film the movie without underwear because there's no underwear in space, he probably just pulled something random out of his ass. Again. To George's disappointment, Leia was only on screen like this for like 5 minutes, but even then it was enough to become one of the most iconic and controversial scenes in the entire series. I don't see what all the fuss is about. I don't have any problems with this. That aside, this is pretty much the most understandable Star Wars baddie to crush on. Princess Leia is a baddie. Mara Jade, right hand and assassin for Emperor Palpatine himself, honorable mention for the list by the way, was introduced in Heir to the Empire in 1991 and went from serving the Empire and hating Luke to becoming a smuggler when the Empire fell and hating Luke to becoming a Jedi Master and marrying Luke. She sounds like she has an issue picking sides. Mara is easily one of the most loved non-movie characters, and whether that popularity is because she's a baddie or a badass, Mara is a redhead, which does make her a baddie almost instantly. You know how redheads work. They're either a 1 or a 10, so you still gotta be cautious. But something about this just does it for me. It just works. Mara is a baddie. Qi'ra was introduced in Solo in 2018. She grew up in Corellia with Han Solo and was introduced to organized crime at a young age, making her a total badass. Qi'ra is played by Emilia Clarke, or as I know her, Daenerys from Game of Thrones. And you know I have a soft spot for our girl Dany of House Targaryen, first of her name, Queen of the Andals and the First Men, Protector of the Seven Kingdoms, the Mother of Dragons, the Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, the Unburnt and the Breaker of Chains. Woo! What a title, and for what a girl. Oh, that's right, we're doing Star Wars. Let me know in the comments if you'd want to see me take a look at Game of Thrones next, and subscribe while you're down there. I may be impartial, but Qi'ra is a baddie. Ahsoka is one of your guys' favorite Star Wars baddies, and it shows. The fan art for Ahsoka is actually hard to avoid sometimes, but I'm not about to complain. The fan art kinda saves her. If we're just talking about regular old Ahsoka by herself, I honestly can't understand what you guys see in this, let alone the live-action version. Now, what I can say is forget the love handles, because these bad boys are sure to give you one hell of a grip. You'll just have to be staring at that. I know, man, you make your choice. But I think I'd be willing to give it a shot with this baddie. Shaak Ti is where I draw the line. This is just Ahsoka on steroids in the wrong direction, and I mean that in the worst way possible. Maybe General Grievous could make use of 4 handles, but that face just creeps me out. Seriously, man, even this listen. Oh, that's right. Okay, so now this is a maybe. Ugh, that face. I mean, damn it, fine. Shaak Ti is a baddie, but we never speak of this again, or you're going into Sarlacc. Ha! Stay tuned till the end. Bastila Shan was introduced in the game Knights of the Old Republic in 2003. During the Civil War, the Jedi won. Bastila was a powerful force because of her rare ability, battle meditation, which allowed her to boost her allies' morale and weaken her enemy. Fancy way of saying she's really hot, and it makes the good guys follow her and the bad guys weak at the knee. I can't quite put a finger on it, but something about that outfit is just an immediate yes in my book. Now, if we can get some mods turned on, I'll be able to put a lot more than just a finger on it. Bastila Shan is a baddie. Rey Skywalker defined a generation, a pretty mediocre, forgettable generation. She's bad in both meanings of the word. She's pretty hot, sure, but Rey also represents some of the least memorable moments of the franchise. There's a bit of a sour taste in our mouths from this, but if we keep our sights clear and our aim true, we're not here for a movie review, so I'm sure we can all look past this and agree that Rey has something going on for her. Controversy aside, Rey is a baddie in my book. Mother Talzin from the Clone Wars is the leader of the Night Sisters, a group of witches on Dathomir that wield dark magic and manipulate galactic events. She can teleport, dissolve into mist, and regenerate limbs. After having her son taken by Darth Sidious, Talzin went down a road of revenge and created an underworld empire called the Shadow Collective to challenge him, orchestrating from the shadows and turning her enemies against each other. Even then, she still had her values and cared for her people until ultimately sacrificing herself for them. I'm not even down bad for this girl, I'm just impressed. Mother Talzin is a baddie. Zam Wesell is a bounty hunter and shapeshifter from Attack of the Clone. She's pretty cute, but she was loyal to money first and foremost, and was ultimately a pawn in the bigger picture who was eliminated the moment she wasn't useful anymore. She also tried twice to unalive my girl Padme, but luckily she kinda sucks as an assassin. First, she tried to plant an explosive on Padme's ship and failed, so the next best thing was obviously to get venomous centipedes from tens of thousands of light years away and put them in her room, which also didn't work. Go figure. So, she's not very smart, not very good at her job, and oh yeah, if she doesn't keep the shape-shifting thing up, you'll be face to face with this baddie. Smash or pass? Let me know in the comments, and leave a like while you're down there. She has some major drawbacks, but I think Zam is a baddie. Shapeshifters. If you ever looked at Yoda and thought he looked kinda bad, first off, leave. But second off, The Phantom Menace is your movie because in 1999, we were introduced to Yaddle, a 477-year-old Jedi Master who's pretty mysterious and kinda just sits quietly during a council meeting. What we can glean from this is that Yaddle is very calm and reserved and probably wise. That's about it. I don't know why she's on this list, but for all you Yoda fans out there, here's finally one of the little green guys that you can thirst over. You're welcome. Next up is Saba Sebatyne. No, we're not doing this. Sorry guys, your recommendations suck. Saba is not getting a spot on the list. It's a crocodile. There's no way any of you are attracted
a pornographic version of it
to this. I've lost faith in humanity. Can't get worse than this. Next, the Sarlacc. Sarlacc is a gigantic beast from Tatooine that buries most of its body underground, only exposing its mouth so that it can suck up anything that comes near it on the surface. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. While not entirely the same creature, the creators of the Dune popcorn bucket definitely saw it. The Sarlacc will keep you barely alive and stuck inside it for up to 1,000 years while it slowly digests you. So please be careful before you start getting any weird ideas. And I know a few of you are for fetishists, and I know you have very, very weird ideas. All of you are the worst. All of you. All of you. You know what? What the hell? Sarlacc's a baddie.